Okay. Is it? Back-to-back weeks on Lil Tecca. That's for Kody. Kody, why Lil Tecca?
Because all the other stuff was very explicit, and I didn't want to, have anything crazy on there.
All right, that's valid. Well, we got Slade, Ethan Slade, and Kody Epps with us today. Let's see. Let's just start off fresh. Slade, you haven't been on the pod yet. Little intro. Mm-hmm. You're from the city.
Yeah. I'm born and raised from Orem, so been around, I guess, Provo, BYU my whole life. So, yeah, this is home.
Were you always planning, was your dream to go to BYU? Were you a Cougar through and through?
No, my parents were. Both my parents actually went to BYU, graduated from BYU. Trying to pick what school to go to, BYU actually wasn't, the dream destination. But when it came down to my decision, just kind of the one that felt right, and made that choice. But I actually wanted to go to Utah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the dream destination?
Yeah, I like the way their defense played. Yeah.
Well,
and I heard things about Scally that I liked, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to Utah, but it didn't end up being that way.
Yeah, Scally's a dope dude.
Yeah.
All my experiences with him has been good. Now you're playing in the same defense at least.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Full
awesome.
circle. Crazy the way that works. Just got married?
Yeah, 4 months ago, June. And it's been awesome.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Kody, you were a part of the wedding, weren't you?
Yep.
What was your role?
I was just emotional support.
He was.
I was there. No joke. I was there the whole day. I was with him the entire day.
We had a little brunch, and some close family and friends were invited to that, and Kody was there. And my mom had never met Kody before, but she's like, "Hey, I want you to speak at the brunch." And there was a mic. If you wanted to hop up and say something, you could. And Kody hopped up and just delivered this bomb speech. He's tearing up a little bit, and everyone came up to me, because not a lot of people that know me from my childhood know Kody.
Yeah.
Because I just met Kody over the last couple of years, and they're like, "That kid's amazing. Who is he?" Just were so pumped and had this kid here. He just delivered this crazy speech.
Oh, I love it. That's the most Kody thing I've ever heard.
No, it is.
You gave a presentation just the other day.
Yeah.
You're a presentation guy.
Yeah.
That's one of your gifts.
Yes.
You love talking, huh?
Yeah. So the presentation I gave the other day, so the trade-off, so I have a group of international business, and hopefully my professor does not look at this when the pod drops. But the trade-off was, I guess essentially we could do this. This is not wrong.
Not wrong.
Essentially, they said, we'll do all the work. We'll explain the data to you.
This is your group.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll explain the analysis to you, and you'll present it for us. And I was like, let's do it.
Did you do a good job?
Not so well, because it was it was 2 days after the concussion stuff. So I was trying to retain a bunch of crazy stuff on Jamaica's economy and stuff. So I didn't articulate what I wanted to very well, but I still have good presentation skills to where it looked at least like a.
You looked legit.
Yes.
Confident.
Yes. Yes.
Poised.
Yes. Chill, smiling, letting the people know.
Acting like you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Part of presenting is just your self presentation.
That's that's half of it. That's pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
You could not know what you're talking about, and they could not know what you're talking about. But if you're saying it the right way, I'm like, dang, this dude's smart.
Thanks.
Where do you feel like, when did you realize that was one of your gifts?
Probably over the last year and a half. Because, BYU, always asks, if we ever have to present or do, a podium, what do you call those things? When it's a
talk,
a panel.
A speech, a
panel.
Panel.
Like a panel, a presentation or a speech to, recruits or families or alumni or anything like that, they always ask me to do it. So, over the last year and a half, I've realized, I think I'm pretty good at this.
Also, because you just never stop talking.
True.
Yeah. So that helps.
Yeah, it
True.
does.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can tell.
But, now it's getting more serious because, back then just talking is just funny because you just goofing around. But, now presentation skills or just talking in front of people, I didn't realize how much other people hated it. Like talking in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually, I didn't realize how many people like actually did not like it or like have the anxiety of it.
Because it's always been
normal.
Yeah.
Just talk.
You've never had any issues with it?
No.
Do you still got anything going on with the concussion?
No. Heck no.
You good?
Yeah, I'm super good.
100%?
100% good. Yeah.
Oh, what so I saw Chase's replay. I didn't even see your replay.
Yeah, I didn't see yours either.
Yeah, so I watched it. Dude, the worst part that people didn't realize was when I hit my head on the ground.
That's when.
Because I got sandwiched kind of, and then the whiplash of like me hitting the back of my head on the ground. That's what I think hurt me. Because when I first heard it, the two places it was hurting was like the top of my head and then the back of my head.
But you black out?
No, but like I instantly just kept my eyes shut because I tried to open my eyes and it was kind of like irritating. Like the light was super sensitive, so I just tried to keep my eyes shut. But it wasn't crazy. Like I got hit hard before.
Were you spinning?
No. They said that Brett said when I walked into the tent though, it was like a little thing on the floor. They were like, "Watch your step," and I like acted like it was like. I didn't even realize that.
How'd you do on the questions?
Where are you?
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. The questions
they're hard.
Irritated me.
Hard.
Yes, bro. But I'm like, bro. Even if I had the highest IQ, I'm not getting this stuff right. They're asking me stuff like count backwards from 100 by 7 while walking. You know how the drunk people have to walk like toe to toe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, bro, I'm not doing this even if I'm normal.
How about the months of the year backwards? Like,
see, that didn't trip me up that bad.
Hard. That was a hard one. You know what really was hard, though? They asked me, like, they're like, well, what time is it? And I'm like, bro, like, because we were in Arkansas, so I'm like,
I remember that one, too.
I'm in a whole different time zone, first off. Second off, it's like when you're on a road trip, like, you just show up and they take you everywhere. Like, I don't know. I just get on the bus and, like, whatever time. Like, I don't know. And, like, even when, like, countdown to game time, it's like, everyone's like, what time's kickoff? I'm like, I don't know. They got this thing that counts down, like, in the locker room that I look at.
There's nowhere to be.
And
Have you ever had one?
Yeah. I think I had one last week.
For real?
Yeah. Like, when on that first hit, the one they threw the seam over the middle.
Yeah.
Where you hit the tight end?
Yeah.
Wait, when we played Texas?
No, last week, West Virginia.
Oh, I remember that. It was going.
It was a
yes
up the seam.
Yes, I remember that.
I did feel dizzy.
Yeah,
and my eyes felt light, but
see, that's where it's like, where's the? How often do you hit somebody where you don't kind of get up and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so where's the balance between like, oh, you got a concussion or you don't? It's like it's a spectrum.
I think they look at it too, like, cause I work. There's a dude named Dr. Hatch. He's actually like he's down the block over here that I've worked with over the summer, cause there's things that they can look at, like actual neuroscientists or like neural guys who specialize in the brain. They can look at they have cameras that can look at your eyes and see your eye movement and see your balance and stuff. So I think that when I want to go see that guy, and I could show you that guy too, just to make sure in the offseason, because it helps you too with brain function. Because what people don't realize is when you get hit over the time in football and you don't go cure that stuff, it kind of trickles into your life. Like, people start getting irritated a little bit faster.
Right.
It's harder to focus, memory, and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So little things. So I think that it's just you have to know kind of the balance of, like, how you're feeling and what's normal and what's not normal.
Yeah.
Rather than them telling you, like, oh, you're concussed.
Right. And then I had to answer 100 questions about Chase. They're like, how did Chase? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what, like the doctor? Like, I don't know. He passed the test. I'm like, I've taken that test. It's not easy. So if he passed it, he must have been good. Yeah. But that was funny. Or it wasn't funny, but I was making fun of him. He had nose down, butt up in the air. Like,
bro. And I was the one that picked his helmet up, and I'm looking him in his face, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I've never seen nobody like the last time I seen somebody was you in Arkansas. When he came on, he was, oh.
Hey, I was spinning. But it didn't ever hurt. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, holy cow. But
first play of the game.
Oh, man. KJ, still to this day. That was crazy. I was going to ask you were talking about getting married. You said you got married 4 months ago?
Yeah.
Kody, you got a girl?
No.
You looking?
No.
Always open.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always
open,
looking. Like, I love baddies, but like, I don't know. I don't.
So that's
like,
your type, the baddies.
Yeah. Like, if anybody ever said that they didn't want a baddie as their wife, they're lying.
Okay. Maybe some people don't.
Like
Define
a baddie is not a body type or like a certain person. It's just your preference of what a beautiful girl is. So like that's any girl that you find attractive.
She's a baddie.
She's a baddie.
Oh, I guess.
A baddie could be a skinny girl. A baddie could be a thicker girl. A baddie could be a taller girl, a shorter girl.
You like them taller or shorter than you?
Oh, shorter.
Shorter.
Or shorter or same height. Because I'm thinking about the future.
Right. You can't go too short because then you're messing with your kids.
Thank you.
What about you? Thickness. You know, like if you got a me character and you're building, they're like, are you sliding it all the way to the right, all the way to the left, like, you know, a little like.
I never thought of like, cause I always I don't know. I just like girls. I just like every type of girl. Like I find different types of girls attractive. So I don't be like, okay, this is.
You don't got like one flavor.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like
just baddies.
If she's a baddie.
That's fair. That's valid.
Yeah.
How did you meet your wife, Slade?
Junior high. So
Oh, for real?
yeah, we went to junior high school together, but never seriously dated. Kind of liked each other off and on, like crush, but never dating. And we kind of both had our thing with other people throughout. But my senior year is kind of when we dated a little bit, like officially for the first time. And she was actually my only and ever girlfriend. So we dated at the end of my senior year, and then I left on my mission. And then she went to BYU. She danced for 4 years as a Cougarette. When I came,
4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Geez.
Yeah, she just finished up this last year. Was her last year. Came back from that, my mission, and then we just started dating when I got back, and then we dated for 2.5 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so we waited a bit, but yeah.
What made you finally pull the trigger? I mean, 2.5 years, that's longer than most people wait, especially after they come home from their mission.
Yes.
I think we were both so busy with what we were doing. She was dancing and working, and I was playing football. And I kind of wanted to get my foot in the ground with football and just be a little bit more comfortable with where I was at. And I don't think it was ever a question of, oh, are we going to get married? It's more just kind of when we will. And the timing just never felt right. And it's hard with football because you have so much obligations you have to be at. And there's like certain time frames in the summer. Like, okay, I can get married in June during this week or it's next year. Or, it's like you have to wait. You have to plan it out super strategically.
Right.
And so, like, it would be, like, in the middle of the winter, it'd be like, okay, is it this year? The first, like, after the first year, like, probably not this year. We need to wait another year. And then the next one's like, hey, not this one, but next one we will get married. So just after that year, last season, when the season ended up, just decided to pull the trigger and got it done.
That's not bad. The same thing happened to me because it was like, you really, like, you got, what, June?
Yeah.
May? Like, that's when you can get married. I guess July you can squeeze it in maybe, but like, yeah, it's unless you want a winter wedding, and no one wants a winter wedding.
No one wants that, yeah.
Wait, let me ask y'all a question. So like after y'all got married, because you guys are talking about like finding that sweet spot to where the timing is perfect in the summer.
Yeah.
Right after you got married, how was that like balance of like time and emotional attention you have to give to your relationship and your wife? Because, like, you know, football takes all your energy and kind of everything. So how was that? Because you got, like, I've never been married, obviously. But, like, I would imagine once you're married, instantly you're like, okay, I want to give all my attention to this person just because we just got married. Like, this is one of the most beautiful things that is ever going to happen in my life.
Right.
But, like, your time constraints are.
For me, it helps that she's also just extremely busy right now. And she's in a busy part of her life as well. And so just knowing that, like, she's not sitting at home waiting for me to get home. And, like, right when I get home, it's straight to, like, kind of pleasing her needs, just being with her. And not to say that's not what I don't want to do. But we definitely understand that, like, she's busy, I'm busy. And we also need our own personal time of doing things that we enjoy. Yeah. But then there's also time of just spending time with each other, and I feel like we do a pretty good job at that. And knowing, like, having known her for the last 8 years, it's not rocket science anymore. It's just I understand, like, oh, she needs her space. She's busy doing something that she needs to do, and then she understands me as well.
Yeah.
That's valid. I'm trying to think. I got married during COVID, so like everything was kind of weird. Like even the football schedule was weird. But I mean, shoot, the way I look at it is like, if you got like, I guess I would never marry a girl where I feel like she's constantly like a project. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, she's always like, why aren't you home? Why aren't you this? Like, if you're gonna live the lifestyle that like you live as a football player, like you got to marry someone who understands that. Otherwise, you're gonna be miserable. So that's probably something you handle beforehand. Yeah, because that would probably eliminate a girl, even if she's a baddie. You know.
Yeah.
What's no more concussion talk, but what's been like the highlight of the season so far?
I think probably the Arkansas game.
Yeah.
In that point in the season, just winning that game in the way it did end.
Right.
And that was, and I think we had a great showing for Cougar fans too at that game, and just knowing that we showed out for those guys and like got to share that moment with them, like running on the field after. That will definitely go down as like a highlight in my like sports career, is just running over to the sideline with the fans, just pumping them up, and knowing that we won that game. That was pretty cool.
That was dope. Did your wife go to the games? The away games?
She went to the Texas game, but that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my parents they've been at every game.
Yeah, it's dope.
I think the highlight of this season for me has been seeing, number one, just being a part. Because, like, I don't know if you guys know, like, because you guys are focused on defense, but, like, you know, I've been having statistically a rough season. Like, I'm not doing much, you know, as, like, what has been expected of me coming off the season that I had last year. And it's been a little bit frustrating, but also just realizing, like, being a part of this team and, like, having fun and, like, watching my friends, like, succeed. Like, me and Slade been knowing each other for a long time, and this is my first time actually seeing him, like, be free and go out and ball and just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, watching Jacob do what he's doing. Like, like, you're starting, like, balling out. Like, Eddie, like, all the dudes that you kind of, like, in the locker room with, and, like, we joke around and we laugh. And, like, taking myself away from it, what my expectations are. Because sometimes you know how it is. Like, we hold ourselves, like, hostage to our own expectations and then what other people expect from us.
Right.
But, like, bro, like, a lot of people don't know this. This is my first time playing a football game in November for BYU.
Really?
I've never made it this far in a season due to injury. Like, last season, as great of a season I had, like, I tore my labrum in October, so I didn't even make it to November.
Really?
So, yeah, so, like, this to me is an accomplishment in itself, and just having fun and understanding, like, still a game, it's still fun. Like, still supposed to enjoy it, you know?
Dude, that's like, bro, so many people get so, like, uptight, they aren't even enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
And then you play worse anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no point in all that. I always say that. It's like, if you aren't, like, enjoying it, then it's like you aren't having fun and you suck.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to figure it out, play loose.
I like what you said, though, but about just enjoying your teammates' success, because a lot of the time you just think of, like, your personal trials that you went through to get to where you're at today and, like, to get on the field. And sometimes you can forget, like, other people go through that too, just like you go through that. Like, Crew's gone through that, you've gone through that, I've gone through that, the other safeties in our room have gone through that. And I was talking about to Preston, or one of the other safeties, earlier this week, and he's just like, I hope you don't, like, think that I'm rooting for you to, like, fail on the field so I can get time. I was like, no, like, I honestly love seeing you play because I know you work hard too. Like, you're here in the summer working out, you're watching just as much film, and it's fun for me to see you play as well. And I think that's as a teammate, that's kind of what you need in a team, because that's what builds, like, a team camaraderie.
It's bad juju too.
Yeah.
Bad karma if you're wishing bad on people.
And I think, bro, like, to be honest, even though our record is 5-4, this is the most fun I've had in my 4 years of being here at BYU. Like, you see how I would just want to play in the locker room? Even after practice, I don't even shower yet. Like, I still got my tape on. I still got my cleats. Like, bro, like, I have confidence that I'm going to do what I need to do to reach my goals in this football realm.
Right.
Like, I have confidence in myself that that's going to happen. And I have confidence in my Heavenly Father that everything is happening for a reason. And He's going to put me on the right track and on the right path so I can accomplish my goals. And I can accomplish the goals that He has already written for me.
Right.
But, like, I need to have fun, bro. Like,
Have
I'm
to.
22 years old, bro. Like, I'll be thinking, no joke, I'll be thinking about this. Do you realize some people on this team, today is the last Wednesday in November of the second week of November that we're ever going to be on a football team again together? Like, when you think about that detail, like, next week will be the last Monday of a third week of November that I'll be on the team with somebody. Or I'll probably even see them.
That's a good point.
Another thing I think about a lot is every season that comes, there's always a teammate or always someone new on the team that I didn't know before the year before that I'll end up being really good friends with. Like, for example, Crew. I had no idea who you were this last year, and now we're really good friends. And that's happened every single season. I'm like, okay, next year, who's this kid that I don't even know about right now?
Right.
That's doing something different that I'm going to meet next year, and then we're going to be great friends. And I think that's something I love about football. And also on the flip side, like, this might be the last month that we get to see some of these kids, which is also.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. How many years of eligibility do you have left?
2 after this year.
Same? Or
Yeah, I have 2. So I'm a redshirt sophomore right now.
So we're all redshirt sophomores.
Yeah, we all are. Because, your freshman year was my freshman year when you came back from your mission, huh?
What
Yep.
year?
2020?
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all got the same year.
Yeah.
I remember, like, Cooper was like, yeah, Crew's coming down. I'm like, who's Crew?
Yeah.
Cooper's like, you're either going to really hate him or really like him.
That's how it goes.
he's kind of cocky, and he can be a dick. But he's like.
I'm that person.
That's so funny. My dad calls them. What does my dad call them? I think my dad calls them sensationalizers. Like, they're people that you're either going to sensationalize them in a negative way or a positive way.
Right.
And which essentially means you're going to love them or you're going to hate them. There's no middle ground. It's black or white.
Strong personalities. That's how it goes.
Yeah. But I think that's to me, that's one of the coolest traits you could have, because if you use it the right way, you can really leverage who you are and leverage what you want to accomplish.
Right.
And I say that to say, think about examples of this are Conor McGregor, Donald Trump, a rapper would be Tyler, the Creator.
Right.
Like, these are people that if you ask 10 people right now, 5 of them may say, I love him to death, and 5 people may I hate that dude. But those 5 people are going to invest every single thing they have into that person.
Right.
Which is going to outweigh whatever the negative people have to say.
Right. It's like the no such thing as bad publicity kind of thing.
Yes.
Like, sure, maybe you got haters and you got people, like, blowing you up on whatever, Twitter in the comments, but it's like they're still writing about you. They're still talking about you. Your name's still being out there.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I always think that's kind of cool.
I think that's so cool. I think that's hella cool when people are like that.
Oh, that's my wife. I was gonna ask you. So when are you getting baptized? People are always like, I didn't know Kody was a member. I'm like, he's not a member.
No, like, nobody knows this, bro. I get so many notes in my locker, like, from, like, elder so and so, like, or like
writing you letters.
Yes, like little notes on the what are those little cards that you guys give out?
Oh, the missionary card?
Yes.
Oh, it has like the pass along cards?
Yeah, I think it's like a picture of Jesus on the back. Yeah. Or like people on the team, like Talmadge Gunther has asked me like 3 times. He's like, is it okay if I give the missionaries your number? They've been asking me about you. That happens so much.
Every missionary's going pro was like, fine, Kody.
Yeah.
Gotta baptize Kody. Have you had lessons with him?
Yeah, when I was younger. Not recently.
Not since you've been a Provo though.
Why not?
You know, I was thinking about doing that this summer. Like inviting them over to the house up the block, just having dinner or something. I don't know. I just,
I think it would just be fun, just with
For the
your
experience.
personality and just to talk to them
Yeah.
because like they're talkers too. That's what
Yeah.
missionaries do. Is they love to talk.
Yeah, I'll probably get to it. I think over the summer, stuff ended up just happening. I never got to it, but that'd be cool though.
Did you guys go to Jake's baptism?
I did not make
I
it.
did not make that either.
Yeah.
I went.
What
Coach
day?
Hill spoke.
That was Sunday, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
can't
last
remember
week.
what happened.
it was last week.
Oh, it was after
the
Texas.
Texas game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool though.
it was cool. Question: Who do you think? Like, I guess not talking about church anymore, but the money. Since this is the money podcast, since I told you we talk about money on here, you said I'm only coming if we talk about money. For those who don't know, Slade's a professional day trader, and Kody has big pockets. He's wearing a full essentials
No, Cody
with
doesn't-
matching
No,
dunks.
no.
That's crazy, by the way.
Cody does not have big pockets. at all.
And then people think I have big money because I got an expensive dog, but
No.
poodle, purebred. We'll be talking about that. When did you get into day trading, Slade? How actually? That's like everybody's so scared of that. Like you say day trading. Like,
Yeah, they should be.
yeah.
It was my first year on the team. I heard my mom like said, "Hey, you know, one of our neighbors just made 50 grand like the last week trading." I was like, "What?"
That's all you had
I'm
to
like,
hear.
"What's that even mean?"
Over from
Teach
there.
me.
And then so I knew the kid, not like extremely well. So I texted him. I was like, "Hey, what's up with this?" He's like, "Yeah, like I'm doing this thing called day trading." No idea what it was. I was actually in the team hotel that night
Yeah.
with Jacob Bourne. We ended up signing up for this offshore in South Africa. It's super sketchy, like trading website, and we put like money in through Bitcoin. And that night, just while we were in the team hotel, we were just like placing trades left and right, just seeing if we can make money, like off like
That's
$5,
funny.
just with 20 cents, like 20 cents a trade.
Yeah.
And then did that, and then kind of from there just was hooked on the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just ever since then, it's hard because that job, I guess, if you can even call it a job, just takes a lot of time. You have to be present a lot. And so, like, even during football season, I like watching videos, learning up on it. I bought a lot of courses over the time, and I'll invest time in courses and just watch videos and try to learn as much as possible about it because I do find it very interesting. And it's like, I think it's definitely a hobby of mine. Like, I can, like, sit there and learn about it and have the time pass and not even know I'm doing, like, how much time I've spent. Like, I
Yeah.
could be there on the computer for 4 hours, and I was like, oh, dang, I've been here for so much time, and I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I think it's, like, one of those things for me. It's just a hobby.
Has it been a successful hobby?
There's definitely been ups. There's definitely been downs. I'm doing right now what's called, you're trying to pass a funded challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to pass these challenges for corporations. And if you pass these challenges, they'll give you capital of their own. So you're not putting up any of your capital. And I've passed one of those challenges. And then I haven't been able to trade it just because due to football.
Yeah.
And I've been at the facility all the time. But after this season, that's kind of what I wanted to kick in and do a little bit more is just try to pass a lot more of these challenges. And then hopefully just kind of you build the more capital you have, the more money you can make.
And then you just get a percentage of the
Yeah.
return or what?
You get usually it's like 80%. That's typical for these companies.
That's kind of dope.
No, it is dope, but it's also like,
A little scary.
yeah, you could say you spent 3 hours a day, like 3 hours one day, and you actually lose money. Like
Right.
you didn't make anything that day, and you just spent 3 hours of your day, where you could be working a 9 to 5, and 3 hours is guaranteed whatever
Right.
hourly rate. So it's like if you could either be making money or you could be losing money, and you could be. It doesn't matter what like. And also the charts, the price, it does whatever it wants. You don't dictate that.
Right.
You gotta master the emotions, and that's honestly the hardest part.
Do you like gambling? Are you a gambler?
I've never like really got into it, and I think this is like the closest thing that I'll probably ever. I don't think I'll ever get into gambling because I know just the stupidity of like losing money. I'd hate losing money.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of day trading, and a lot of people say it's gambling, and I definitely do understand that, and I do see that.
Right.
So
But there's a system in place that you follow, obviously,
yeah,
to
that
make it.
makes it so I try not to lose as much as possible.
Right.
But no, I've never really been into gambling. I've done it, but I've never been like, oh, I need to go
You're
gamble
not a
this
big
weekend.
gambler?
Yeah, no.
Cody's a gambler, right?
No.
Cody, tell us about your gambling experiences lately. How's it been?
It's been fun. Me and the guys, no money on the line. We play blackjack in the hotel. Just have some fun before the game. Just have fun.
Who's the best blackjacker?
There's not a best person. Like, who wins the most is probably Koa or Parker. But it's also, we don't know the real rules of blackjack. Like, we don't know how that works, so we kind of make up our own rules. So, like, on any given day, somebody wins. And it doesn't take precedence over our, like, readiness for the game. We just do it to, like, spend some time in a team hotel before we.
That's the only reason I'd ever gamble is with friends, having, like, a fun time.
Yeah.
That's
where
like,
there's, like, not actual.
Yeah.
You're not actually losing.
Like, we just like, buying time before it's time for, like, team snack and just, like,
Yeah.
having fun before a game.
Bro, how dope is that when we started doing? Do you guys like doing the team? What is it? Team bonding, team activity, or whatever?
Yeah.
Or are we just getting
Yeah.
the 9 o'clock or what is it? 8 o'clock before the games while we're waiting for our last meal? We just
play
hop
games.
on, play
Yeah.
games, card games. Kalani was singing karaoke in Texas.
See, like, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about, like, the fun that I'm having is because, so Dwayne Wade came and talked to the school the other day,
right.
and he said, enjoy the traffic. That was something I remember from his talk. I walked in like 5 minutes before he was done. And one of the things he said is enjoy the traffic, because when you get to the destination, you don't care about the destination anymore. All
Right.
you think about is the traffic that got you there.
Right.
And what I meant by what I said earlier is just like having fun, because I know I have confidence in myself that I'm going to accomplish my goals.
Right.
But like, what do you think we're going to remember this season more? Do you think you're going to remember? Of course, you're going to remember a crazy play that you made.
Right.
But what do you think you're going to remember more? Each and every snap, or those team bonding experiences where everybody was together, like laughing, like just having a great time over a stupid game? Like, what,
Right.
like, you know?
Dude, the game's a blur anyways. Like, you get done with the game and you're like, you'll be watching a film, and coach will be like, why'd you do this? And it's like, I don't even remember that
Yes.
happening. Like,
Yes. I think
No.
in the game, the only two things you really remember is if you made a stupid mistake
yeah.
or you made like a crazy play.
Everything else is just happens.
Yes.
Like, you don't, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I was actually talking to my wife about that on Sunday. It was like, this is probably the happiest I've ever been in my life, as far as like, not that I'm a pretty like in a good mood person anyways, but just like happy with where I'm at. Like, my problem is I'm always like looking towards the future. It's like, okay, like I'm a very goal driven person. So it's like, I'm always looking towards my goals, and it's like, it takes you away from like the now.
Yeah.
And dude, I watched this video on Michael Jordan, and it was like, and I watch it before every game. It said, and it talks about the reason, like, one of his greatest gifts wasn't that he was a good basketball player. Like, obviously he was, but what separated him is his ability to like be in the moment. He was never anywhere else. He was all like, his mind was always where he was.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy.
Which
It's like,
is-
that's when you really just enjoy it, and just like,
Facts.
you don't worry about like what's gonna happen or
Facts.
trying to get somewhere. Like, if you're just living in the now, doing what you're doing, like, the rest of it will take care of itself.
Yeah.
What's Cody's pregame video? What do you do pregame?
What's your favorite?
So pregame, like so my pregame routine typically starts when we're leaving to go load the buses for the stadium. So what I do is I typically put on like Devontae Adams highlights and just watch him, like visualize like how does this match up kind of what I'm gonna do today, and then I have a playlist of like Adele, SZA, like more chill stuff, like to get me calmed down on the bus, because I don't want to be cranked up and amped up on the bus.
Yeah.
And then once we get off the bus, when we do our little cougar walk, that's when I get cranked. Like, I put a song on to crank
Yeah,
me
you
up.
gotta crank during the
Yes.
cougar walk.
Yes. And then once we get in the locker room, that's where the cranking starts. That's when it
Yeah.
starts like, okay, now it's time to lock in. But I hate getting too high before the game starts.
Yeah, because then you crash.
Yes.
There's a very fine balance.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, how long can I go? Like,
Cranked up.
like, by the third quarter, you're like, oh, okay, is this
No,
almost
it's so
over?
true.
Yeah.
So true. What about you, Slade?
I got to say my routine, something I learned in a book I read, is if you watch your I like watching my highlights that I've had in the past.
Yeah.
It gives you the confidence you can do good things, like great things. So I do that before games. It's just whether it's from practice or games past, I like to watch plays I've made just to give me confidence. But there's a video by Mike Tyson called it's called "I'm a God,"
Yeah.
and that thing gets me going.
That's dope.
My dad sent it in the family group chat, and I just every game right when we come in right before we go out, I just put my headphones on and listen to that, and just talks about like Mike Tyson and his confidence and his preparation. Just he feels like he's a god when he enters that ring, just because he knows he's putting more sweat equity than the guy he's facing, and I like that a lot. But yeah, that and then some pre-workout 30 minutes before kickoff will do it.
The pre-workout.
Pre-workout.
The caffeine intake, like you gotta play with it a little bit, because I took, like, if I take a full scoop right before we run out of the tunnel, like to start the game, I can't do it. Like I did that at SCU and I was dead by halftime and I didn't even play. I was just down on the sideline, dead. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, there's definitely a fine balance with the caffeine. But what do you guys have any mantras or like things you say to yourself, like self-thoughts,
Oh, yes.
What?
I talk to myself.
Do you have like a specific like?
No.
Just
Sorry, yes. So to answer your question, no, I don't have a mantra, like a specific saying, but I talk in tongues to myself.
Tongues?
Yes.
Like cool.
Yeah.
Hey, don't laugh
like
at him.
like
Don't
a
laugh at him.
snake.
No. Like it's like it's like no, you don't enunciate any word. Like you don't enunciate any word. You just like kind of like speaking.
In tongues.
But like I'm talking. You never heard about that? They did that they talk about it in the Bible all the time.
Yeah.
Like people talking in tongues. Like it's kind of like a bond. I feel like it's a bond with me in God.
Yeah. Where it's like no one understands you, just
No
you
one
and him.
understands me, just me and him. And I'm just getting ready, getting locked in.
Do an
Hell
example.
yeah.
No, I can't
Give
do
us
an example because I'm
give
gonna
us
look
something.
weird right now.
Give us something like
It's not like
What's it like?
it's like more like grunting and like
oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah. Like I gotta talk to myself though, bro.
We got to get you mic'd up then. I wanna hear
Yeah.
that.
Mic'd up. He's like, what's going on with Kody?
Yeah.
He's talking and he's speaking in
Translate it
tongues
below
again.
in the video. Just be like, that's what I said.
Like ball out, brother.
It's like, ball out.
Yeah.
Hey, how about when you make a play though, and you get to talk about like not thinking about what you say? Like, you make a play, you get up, you start saying some crazy stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Like
That's-
you don't know what you're saying?
That's definitely the stuff you forget
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
Like, what were you saying? It's like, I don't know. I was going crazy.
But you see, I never talk.
Well,
You
yeah,
don't?
I'm like that either. I like people say they'll talk crap and talk smack. That's like the last thing on
Yeah.
my mind is like to go
Talking.
look at the guy and say something to them. I'm like dead tired, hands on hips, looking over the sideline to try to get the play right when it's over. I'm like,
Bro,
straight to the next play.
I never say anything during games. I
No.
barely even talk to the team. Like,
Right.
cause I just be so locked in that I don't even know. Words just don't words aren't coming to me. It's just like focus. Like, what's the play?
Really?
Yeah. Like I'll talk on the sideline, but like during the game, bro, I'm never talking.
yeah,
I don't talk during the plays. Except for on like PATs,
special team.
special teams,
Yeah,
any
'cause-
field goals. Like anytime I like if they're kicking a field goal, like sometimes I'm just running through a dude on the edge, and then like
Yeah.
I'm saying something to him as I'm
Yeah.
running off because I don't got to worry about a play after that.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. If there's the next play, I'm like, oh crap! Like I'm trying to get the
Yeah.
call, all that stuff. There's so much other stuff you got to think about. But on the sideline, I can't I'm always saying stupid stuff. Like that's kind of my way of like relaxing. Like I'm
Mhm.
just talking to Eddie and Cam. Like they're one of my boys, and I talk to them, and they're just like, dude, just like shut up. Like why? You, like because they're the exact opposite. They just like if you saw them on the sideline of a game, you would think they were depressed. The way they
Yeah,
just like
that
sit
is
there like
true.
this, just like they could have just made a play and they'll celebrate, right? But then afterwards, like on the sideline, they're just like this, like they're tired, but they aren't. Like that's just how they do it.
That's
So
just their personality.
it's like, dude, you talk too much. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, bro. So I got to talk to other people. But no, pregame routine's huge.
What's yours?
I got a couple. So like one thing is I'm like, I try to smile a lot and laugh and like, I don't make it bigger than it is. That's my whole thing.
Mhm.
It's like it's like one of the things I tell myself is like this is what I do. So it's like why would I be nervous? Like this is my thing. There's this I watch when we get on the bus. I watch like I have a saved whatever folder on Instagram of like a bunch of videos I watch. A lot of Sugar Sean stuff. because I think he's got some cool, like, his mindset when he goes into the ring is cool. Like, if you notice, like, he's a really loud, talk about a loud personality, right? Like, he's one of the people you either love or you hate.
Yeah.
But when he's in the ring or the octagon, he is, like, very, like stoic is what he calls it. So I watch that stuff at school. He always talks about, like, calming the chaos and, like, too sharp, too fast, too focused, where it's just, like, other things aren't really bothering him. So that's something I do. It's just, like, this is what I do. I'm just, like, you know, I don't try to make it bigger than it is, and I just try to enjoy it. And that's really when I play the best. Find flow. Coach Hill talked about finding flow. The Texas Tech game, but especially the Texas Tech game, I was in. Is that who it was? Yeah. I was in flow that game where, like, everything was happening so slow. Couldn't catch the damn ball, but, like, everything else was just, like, in slow motion. So if I find flow, that's good. But yeah, other than that, I just try to have a good time, enjoy myself.
Yeah, I don't like having a good time during games.
Really?
I want to be, like, I have to be pissed off.
See, I'm dancing.
Like,
I'm
but
smiling.
it's a controlled pissed off. It's
Like
the
a
pissed
Tom
off where
Brady.
I'm not. Yes. Like I have to be, like, frustrated. Like,
I feel that. You
'cause
got to get in your
me,
mental state.
yes,
of,
to me, that's why I talk to myself. To me, if I go out there and I'm, like, smiling and I'm, like, happy, I don't feel like I'm going to play at my best because I'm too relaxed and too
Wait,
chill.
here's a question. Because on the defensive side of things, we look at playing defense with aggression. Like, we want to go across the line and just smack that dude. Like, hit him as hard as we possibly can. And from the offensive side, as a defensive player, it looks like a lot more finesse
Yeah.
is what you guys play with. So how's that correlate with the aggression? Because I feel like if you have aggression, it might interfere with the finesse of, like, the smoothness of my route and whatnot. I see blocking, like, you can come in with the aggression and smack the dude, but, like, how's that work?
I think the aggressive part of it is just winning. Not necessarily what it takes to win, but winning. Like, not running, like, a route, like, and then cutting, like, you know? But it's the fact that I won the route, I caught the ball first down. That's the aggressiveness. Like, I beat you.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the mentality. It's just
dope.
beating you. Because if I focus on hitting you too much, I'm not doing my job.
You're making my job easier.
Yes. Like, if I just want to run into you on routes or, like, I just want to block, dude, just put another lineman in that receiver.
Right.
Like, you know, but, like, winning to me, like, scoring a touchdown, that's the aggressiveness. Getting a first down or, yes, making a block to set up my team, even if it's not, like, a butt-kicking block where I put a dude on his butt, but, like, I got him just enough to where LJ breaks or Aiden breaks. Like, yeah. You know?
Feel good?
You feel good.
Who's your favorite player to watch? Both of you guys. Like, who's
Our
your
team or in
No, like,
in
favorite
general?
player. Like, if you got to pull up some highlights to watch. You said Devontae Adams?
I want to hear our team, too. And
Yeah, our team too.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp or Julian Edelman.
That's good.
Those are my two favorite players ever.
That's fair. What about you, Slay?
I never had, like, a football person I kind of was always watching on defense or anything like that, but I love just watching, I guess, another sport, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's just who I like to watch. But football-wise, I've never been, like, I guess, Tyrann Mathieu. That's, like, the closest thing I got.
It's a good one to watch.
Probably I've seen his highlights a couple times. That's about it, but I'm not
Do
big
you have a
into
player, like, maybe you don't watch the highlights, but, like, you look up to? It's like, dang, I want to be, like, not necessarily want to be that guy, because, like, we're not, like, 10 years old, but you know what I mean. There's still a little bit of that. Like,
Still a lot of bit of that.
Like, oh, that dude's dope. You know what I mean?
that. I always like Jamal Adams, his
Yeah.
swag,
Yeah.
especially when he's with the Jets.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him coming out of the tunnel.
That's okay who you dress like on game day.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why.
But
The
yeah,
two bands?
the Jamal Adams, I think they were wearing their dark, the black with the green. He's coming out of the tunnel. That picture's hard. And I've just ever since then kind of liked his swag.
Jamal Adams is tough.
I got to get bigger arms though.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
an
problem.
off-
I
that's
see
the
these
off-season work.
dudes. I see these dudes, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to dress like that this week.
And
And
then
then I
you-
put it on. I'm like, I look like a
You
square.
look in the mirror. You go in the mirror and you're like, okay, got
Like, what the heck?
square starting from square zero.
What about on the team? Who's your favorite person to watch on the team?
Harrison Tagger.
Yeah, Big Harry.
I think the reason I like Harry is probably the same you like him. Is just dude has no 50%, 40%. It's all
100.
gas,
Dude
no
doesn't even have a
brakes.
98%.
Dude, it's crazy watching that guy go at practice. It's practice too.
Yeah.
Not to say that we're not trying really hard at practice, but that dude does not let up.
No.
And I think it's good for me just because it kind of checks. He like checks my mental too. Just watching him, like, dang, I need to step it up.
Right.
But that guy's like that all the time. In pregame, like it was before the TCU game. I'm like, this guy's like that. I think that was his first career start too. Was against TCU. That dude was on something. He had this little Harry. I'm sharing this story. Sorry, but he had this. We were getting our wrist taped, and I see this black circle like Sharpie on his forearm. I'm like, Harry, what is that? And he's like, my reset button.
He's nuts.
And I'm like, what's the reset
I don't
button?
know if he's all right, bro. Like,
He's hilarious.
he'll be in the locker room. He'll walk past my locker. He'll be like, "Hey, Kody," and just
Dude.
like keep walking. I'm like, "What's up with this?" I love it, but it's
He's so
like
funny.
he's on a different
Here's
level,
the
bro.
thing, though. So I come from the same. He had the same high school coach that I had. Different schools,
Mhm.
but same coach. And so I know the culture that he came up in. And so I know more of why he is the way he is. Like, there's something about Coach Care, like the culture he creates. It's just like a goofy, like all out, like you go crazy. I don't know how to explain it, but he's just he's a funny guy.
To me, he's a dude. Him and Max Tooley are dudes that like you'd be like, yeah, I want him on my team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like if we were kids about to play in the football game, you like, yeah, him.
Yeah,
Bring
'cause
him
you're-
bring
if
him
he-
with
if
us.
he was on the other team, you'd be scared of him. That's the only reason why you want.
Yeah.
You're terrified of him.
You like
that's so funny. On the flip side, who has like the best swag on the team? Do you think?
football swag?
Both. In-game swag, out-of-game swag.
In game swag.
I like Parker Kingston. I always think Parker Kingston.
Parker Kingston puts it on.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
does.
he looks good.
For the offense, Parker. For the defense,
You know who always looks good is J-Rob. Simple,
yeah.
Yes.
but I think it's his
His
body,
body style,
Like, it
yeah.
just
Yeah.
works.
Oh yeah, to me, I would probably say Jacob, because Jacob is like you said, it's that simple look, but it's fly.
He pulls it off. He's got the nice skin tone, like
Ben has good swag too.
yeah.
Oh
Ben
yeah,
does.
Ben
I
does.
forgot about Ben. Ben and me looking hard. Cam looks hard to me too, just with the one arm sleeve
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and just like it's simple too, but it's like it looks
See,
tough.
that's another thing. Like, it works for Cam, wouldn't work for everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Who else? Yeah, I don't know.
talk about being a big guy would suck. Like, it's really hard to have swag as a big dude.
No. Yeah, it's not much to you.
You can't do
Just put cleats on and gloves.
right.
And if they do too much, it's
Then
'Cause,
it
like-
takes
putting
away.
stuff on and like
'Cause
doing
let's be
too
real.
much.
Because let's be real, like we wear accessories, but not for their purpose.
Right.
So for a big guy, why do you need a towel? You don't.
Unless you're the center.
You really don't even need gloves. You like think about a D lineman. Like he really does not need gloves. The
Right.
only thing I could say would be his reason of wearing gloves is because they have the new ones with the padding on the top of them
Right.
for them just to protect their hands or whatever. But like all the big dude needs really is socks and cleats.
Right.
Like
That's
I don't
true.
know. I don't know what else you would need.
But what do you need besides gloves?
That's what I'm saying. We really don't.
Ours
Like-
is just straight for looks.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like your bands,
Straight for
a
looks.
sweatband is really for tennis players when they used to do this.
When they used to do that?
Yeah, when they oh yeah. But like you get what I'm saying. Like, but for them when they do this, or like
Right.
basketball players when they do this, that's what a sweatband was for.
Right.
But we don't use the sweatbands for that.
Right.
A towel is for
Hey, but how much better do you feel when you're dripped out?
100% better.
You
Coach
have to.
Hill actually talked about that the other week. He said the better you feel, the better you'll play. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking that pregame, I'm like, okay, this game, I'm putting it all together just because I want to feel
Oh yeah.
feel
Good.
great, so I
Yeah.
don't feel like I look like a dweeb out there.
I feel that.
Yeah.
He jocked my swag though.
Yeah, he did.
Ah. I had something planned. I had been excited all week to wear what I was gonna wear. He comes walking through the locker room. He's like, "Hey, they're gonna make
What
you
are
take that off
those?
if you wear that." Because I was wearing blue. So Derwin James is the dude that I like to look at. He's for the Chargers,
Mm-hmm.
and when they wore their all white uniform, They were all white uniform, and he wore all baby blue accessories, baby blue sleeves, gloves, and like leg sleeves.
Mhm.
So like, oh, I'm doing that, and cleats. So I had it all picked out. Got special cleats from Cade Moore, like everything. And then, Coach Hill comes walking through the locker room. He's like, "Hey, you can't wear that." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he like
Why?
walks away.
He comes back again.
I keep putting it on because I'm like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." He's like, "No, really, you got to take that off. Otherwise, they'll make you take it off out there." It's one of those
Wait,
things. Where
why?
he thought the refs would make me take it off.
You can't wear.
Since everybody else was wearing white,
White.
I had to wear white.
Yeah.
Oh, like
I
as a
think you have-
team thing?
You
Yeah.
have to wear the same color as your pants. I'm pretty sure that's the rule.
Keelan did it though. Little twin
Yeah,
did it
I don't
against
think
Arkansas.
that's true.
See, so that's why I was
Coach
trying-
Hill's just different.
Yeah, I was about to say that has to be a Coach Hill thing because I know for sure, like,
All I
it's
know
just
is
on the offense that wear the like Chase.
I've heard that rule though is you can't wear a different.
I heard that was gonna be a rule this past offseason, but I don't think
Chase
it was
does it too,
enforced.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I had to change to white and kind of mess with my whole.
They're probably trying to do the NFL type thing because you know the
I don't know what they're
NFL
doing.
does that.
Right.
Like you have to wear,
You can't show skin.
yeah, and like you have to wear, like that's why on Madden I never realized it, but Madden does it. Like you know when you're creating a player on Madden or you're picking your uniforms for your team, the socks are the same. Like you pick the sock color for a reason.
Right.
Because everybody is wearing whatever the equipment manager says for that week is the game. That's what you're wearing
Right. Otherwise, you get
for
fined.
accessories in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about this? We got. Let's do some pick'ems
All right.
for the upcoming week. See who we got here. You good at these, Kody? Slade? I'm not very good at these, to be honest.
I think I'm pretty good at pick'ems.
Texas Tech, Kansas. It's
Whoever
an easy
wins.
one. Yeah.
I said I'm not a better, but let's bet something. Or
Yeah.
we're not allowed to do that.
No, not allowed to do it.
Oh, dang it.
Kurt's gonna take this down.
Yeah.
We
We are not.
are
Betting.
not betting.
Texas Tech, Kansas.
Kansas.
I don't know, bro.
Kansas.
See, the one thing, no, but you got to think. The
Kody,
Big
it's
yes.
Kansas.
Yes. But the Big 12 is so volatile with who wins each week.
I
Bro,
agree. I
like,
agree.
Texas Tech just beat TCU, bro.
Yeah,
And you
but
would have never suspected that.
what's their records? What's Texas Tech's record?
4-5, and Kansas is 7-2.
Okay, Kansas is playing for more right now.
And Kansas has been consistent. Texas Tech. I'm not saying anybody can't beat anybody. Like I agree with that,
I
but
know, but Kansas still
Kansas
has the
is
hope
winning
of
that game.
the Big 12 championship. So
True.
they're gonna all out right now.
Yeah, and their way that they're playing is pretty good.
And they're tricky. Their
Yeah.
offense is good. Alabama and Kentucky. Alabama.
Yeah.
I'd say Alabama too.
Yeah, you
That
can't
might be
bet
an
it.
upset.
I would say
How about this one? Michigan and Penn State.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Think so? Did Penn State? Did they lose last week? When did they lose?
They lost against Ohio State.
Ah, that's what it was. The cheaters.
The
You
cheaters?
think they're cheaters?
No.
I don't know enough about that.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough.
Yeah, I'm saying no based off of just a little bit that I've heard of like sign stealing. I think that's Louis Riddick said it on the TV the other day. Like in the NFL, sign stealing is like a part of football operations at this point
Right.
because
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
goes huddle.
Right.
They
So
got
it's
it
like-
in the ear.
Yeah, that's the legitimate reason why they did it.
Right. Arizona, Colorado.
Arizona.
Think so?
Arizona's dude. They've been even the games they lost this season. They've been
Yeah.
in some close ones.
That's true.
Arizona.
They've been taking everybody to the wire.
What are your thoughts on Colorado?
I like the way Dion coaches, but I don't like the cockiness of everything.
Yeah.
That's just not me, and that
Right.
might be for other people. But like,
I think that's the sensationalism we're talking about.
yeah,
He's one
me
of
for
those
sure.
people
yeah.
that
And if that's the way you rock and you are okay with it, you better win. And they haven't been winning, so you better not be doing it.
Hey, but you got to be who you are, whether you're winning or losing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to stick with it.
Yeah,
because
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like with him,
with him personally as a coach, he's fine as a coach. It's his players.
But I don't think his players are cocky. Like, if you listen, because on Instagram, they always have, like, Travis Hunter's, like, podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
They're really respectable dudes. Like, they don't,
I agree with
the stuff, if you really look at it, and we're looking from a lens that's, like, kind of far.
Yeah.
But if you look at the stuff that they've gotten into, I haven't seen them attack anybody.
The
like,
only
they have
game
never
I'd say
said.
is the Oregon game.
Yes.
They were a little crazy, the Oregon game.
Yes. That was one of the ones where,
And they
didn't
got
they, like,
humbled.
stand on the 0 or something like that?
I don't know. They were
And
doing
that's
some
just
crazy stuff.
Where it comes in my personality, like I don't say anything even during a game.
Yeah.
Like
So I'm for sure not going to say anything before.
Right.
before a game.
Yeah.
And even after a game. I feel like after a game's even worse. Like the game's over. What's the point?
Here we go. Tennessee, Missouri. That's a 14-16 matchup.
Tennessee, Missouri?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Missouri. Missouri's ball.
Tennessee.
Do you think Tennessee? I think Tennessee, too.
Have some boys on that team.
Yeah. Root
Keaton
for
and
them.
Gabe.
I haven't watched a single Missouri game this year, so I can't say. Utah, Washington.
Ooh.
That'll be a good one.
Utah.
You think so?
I'll say UW.
Yeah.
You think Washington? You think Utah? You think their defense will stop Penix? The
I-
big Penix energy?
See, I
Phoenix
think
Energy?
I think that game. I think games like that where it's a really good offense and like a pretty good defense with UW, like a really electric offense and a good defense, and then Utah, who's not as electric on offense, has a really good defense. I think it comes down to UW is gonna score.
Right.
They're gonna score somehow, some way. It's gonna be about time of possession and turnovers. That's what that game is gonna come down to, in my opinion. If you allow UW to keep the ball and just go with it, I think they're gonna win.
I can see that. I could see Washington winning. If I had to
I can
pick
see
one,
both
I
winning,
think
but
Washington.
that's like the one
Right.
game for the upset of the week. That's it.
And,
I would like Utah to win. I think Washington will. Though.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
And to my other point about like Utah being, they're gonna score. The thing is, in those games, it's hard because you basically have to score every time they score and expect like get a turnover and the time of possession thing.
Yeah.
Because if you like the USC versus UW, the way that USC was like in the game with them, or like they were in the game to each other, because both offenses are like, we're going to score damn near every possession we get the ball.
Right.
It literally comes down who makes that last mistake.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, a couple more here. Ole Miss and Georgia.
Georgia.
Shout out J Dart though. Let's see if you can get it done. West Virginia, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Their offense is crazy.
Their defense is pretty good too.
Right.
I don't know. I thought they were.
Oklahoma.
Oh, and I think
They are
Oklahoma. Texas, TCU. What's the name's not back yet, is he?
Probably just go Texas.
Texas. TCU's not that good. They played great against us, and we didn't help. Like, we didn't do anything to help ourselves out by any means, but
Yeah.
they have not looked the same. Good for them, though. All right, and then USC, Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon's pretty good.
Oregon be smacking people.
USC is
Because Coach Dan Lanning, he brought that Georgia mentality to the West Coast with a bunch of ballers on offense.
Was he the defensive coordinator?
Yes, at Georgia.
Yeah.
So he brought that mentality on the defensive side of the ball to a team that's known for having ballers on offense.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect storm.
no, they're good. They're really good.
And then Bo Nix is that dude is so
He
sick.
was good when we played him too.
Yeah, that dude
Freaking
is
balled
hard,
out
bro.
against them.
He's hard.
He's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, then prediction for our game. Score.
To be honest with you, I don't know enough about their offense, and it's I think, like, you know how Coach Pop always talks about special teams. I think that's gonna play a big part in this game too.
Yeah.
So I don't know score, but I do know this one. I feel like it's gonna be a tough game.
Think so?
Like, this is gonna be one of those ones where you gotta strap up and you gotta come to play.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
For sure. I think that's what everybody's expecting after we got our butts kicked last week.
Yeah.
So
But the way that they play defense,
scrappy.
It's just a bunch of tough dudes, bro. Like they play the 3. I think it's the 3-3-5.
Yeah.
Kind of like TCU, and their defense is like, I think their defense was number 1 in the country last year, total defense, and then they're like top 15 this year or something crazy like that. Like there's some tough dudes. It's gonna be a game.
Do you have a score prediction?
Yeah, 17-21. Close one.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. What's the math on that? 13. Touchdown, 2 field goals. 21. Just to spice it up a little bit. But yeah, that should be a fun one. Okay, one more thing before we hop off though. How much of a home field advantage? I was talking to Cam about this the other day. How much of a home field advantage is it playing at Lavelle?
Crazy.
Really?
So much.
Yes.
So, like, because Utah State, I didn't give a damn whether we were on, like, away or at home. Like, it really didn't make a difference. Like, I almost preferred being away. Here, it's like, you notice, like, there's a huge difference.
I would maybe from the mind of the opponent, to them, it's affecting them. But for me personally, I could care less if I'm playing in front of our stands or someone else's. I feel like I played the same. Doesn't really matter.
Right.
But yeah, I could see from when
like
the
a
offense
whole-
is out there, they're like, freak, I can feel the rock behind me. Everyone's
Yeah.
screaming.
See, I think it's the biggest home field advantage.
But you don't play different. Like when you're,
I
The
don't
energy
play
is
different,
different.
but the mentality is different.
The energy is
And
crazy.
you feel it. I feel it more.
like
bro, but there's nothing better than coming out when you got like in Arkansas, like when Max got that pick when they were driving and just shutting that crowd up. That's
Yeah.
honestly, I like that way better than if we were to pick it in a home crowd. Just that feeling of just like,
Nah, I
I'm
like
the opposite. I
roar.
love
Oh,
my
love the-
fans cheering with me.
Because think about, like, how demoralizing is it, especially with how loud the bell is, like, how demoralizing is it when it just goes crazy
Yeah.
on you? It's like, gosh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to take a toll on you, especially if it happens over and over and over again. Like,
And I
don't
think
know.
to me, it's a wild stadium and a wild experience for. I know we're talking about our own personal experience, but for other teams, bro. Because when you really think about it, they're cheering. I know people keep saying this. They're cheering sober.
yeah,
Like, bro, they're screaming and losing their voice over true love for BYU football. Like, there is nothing else that they're cheering for other than their family went to BYU. They're like, you know how Nick Greer talked about like being a little boy and going to California
Yeah.
and looking out the back window and just seeing the Y fade away.
yeah.
Like, all those people are cheering from those experiences.
right.
So it's like completely different.
I will say, like having played in some cool stadiums this year,
Yeah.
and even years past, like BYU definitely has the best crowd atmosphere. The Rock and just the crowd, the fans in general. We by far everyone's the most engaged. Like even going to Texas this year, they had a huge stadium,
Yeah.
massive, and it was filled pretty good. But it felt like I was more at a pro game where people weren't really there
Right.
to. It was more of an like.
It wasn't as localized,
Yes.
like,
But like when you were at the
intimate.
Yeah.
in Lavelle, it's like personal for these
Yes.
fans. Like
Dude.
there's more invested than
Bro.
I think you
What-
worded it the best. Like when we go to other stadiums, I personally feel like the fans come out. It's Saturday.
It's
It's
just
for
an activity,
entertainment
yeah.
purpose. It's an activity. It's for entertainment purposes. It's something to kill my time, not kill my time with, but something to go do on the weekend.
BYU fans, they
No.
live for that.
Like
And
they're
then-
waiting for Saturday.
They grow up like waiting to be able to sit in the Rock. Like, that's what they want. Like,
And I
I
find
want to
it-
make it a BYU, so I go sit in the Rock and get a BYU degree.
I
Like,
find it so interesting. Like I've talked about this with my wife a couple of times. The fact that there's grown men out there that care so much about how we perform and do. Like,
right.
To me, it's just like I'm just like not to say that doesn't feel like a big thing we're doing, like going out and playing on Saturday.
Right.
It obviously is, and like a lot of people's like coaches' livelihoods, a lot of money's put into it. But it still feels like a game to me,
Right.
and to some people, it feels like way more than a game.
Right.
And it's fascinating to like have people talk to me like this means the world to them.
Right.
Which I'm not saying it shouldn't, and it's awesome that it does. but that mindset's, I don't feel like you get that in a lot of other places. Like,
dedication's crazy.
I also don't think there's another place where, like, to me, BYU football home games are a 2-day vacation for fans.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because it's a package deal on Saturday for BYU fans.
Right.
You go to the game on Saturday, and then you go to church and talk about the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then your Sunday dinner, you're still talking about BYU football.
Right.
It's literally, when we have a home game in Utah, it's a 2-day vacation for BYU football fans.
Right.
we need to bring
Nobody else has it like that, bro.
You would be a celebrity if you showed up to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
See.
And you balled out.
Yeah.
Bro, if you go crazy and then you go to church on Sunday, that's like, bro.
You got a line out the door waiting for everyone to come shake your
Bro,
hand.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's different here, bro. It's a different investment. Like,
So funny.
think about it. Like, they go to sleep by like 12 o'clock because our game, 7 o'clock it ends. They go to sleep 11, 12. They're waking up in 6-7 hours to literally go, and they probably just had dreams about the game. They probably just slept and dreamt about the game. They're waking up and they're going. Their bishop was at the game last night with them, and then they're going to talk about that, in the little session during church. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah. Or it wasn't awesome,
Either way.
Still talking about it.
No, it's true. I even someone's renting my car starting today for the weekend because they're flying in from Arizona to come to the game. And so he's like, my son found out like whose car we were renting, and like he's like, you would have thought I told them we won the national championship. I'm like,
it's just crew,
Bro,
like,
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. People, it feels like an overreaction, but
Right.
to them, it's
So
Dude.
just imagine when that kid goes to the game tomorrow on Saturday.
you better say what up to
do
him.
I leave some gloves in the car? Should we
Yes.
surprise him?
But listen, like, think about it. That little kid is going to talk about that story till he's 90.
It's true.
You know, the time I went to a BYU football game,
It's true.
I rode in Crew Wakely's rented car with my father. Like, that's gonna happen, bro.
No, it's true. Like it's real. So no, it's awesome. Like when people, when I was doing the podcast before I ever played at BYU, like everyone's like, oh, dude, like the energy at Lavelle is awesome. Like what the hell? Like, that's weird. Like, why does everybody talk about Lavelle? Like, like, I thought it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's like a home crowd. Like, I've been to BYU games. Like, yeah, it's cool, but like I didn't realize it until you play there. It's like it's different for sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's good stuff. Well, looks like our session's over. We've been going for a while. Fun having the group, talking about the money. Big money podcast today.
For 1 second.
Right. No, for real though. Appreciate you guys coming. It's a blast.
This is fun.
Fans are gonna like it. I like just chopping it up with the boys.
Yeah.
So good. Slade hasn't been able to come on yet, so it's good to get him on. And yeah, hopefully
You know what would
we
be
get a win
cool?
this week.
You know what I always wanted to do?
What?
I want to discuss everything non-football, everything, the craziest topics ever. I want a session
Joe
like
Rogan?
that. Yes,
You come
like a
up-
Joe Rogan
You
pod.
come up with the topics and we'll do it. How about that?
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Like flat earth theory, like
You know what I've been into recently?
what?
The pyramids.
Yes. Like
dude,
I want
those will
to I
never
want a
make sense to
session
me.
Like that one's been bugging me.
Yes.
I'm like,
It doesn't make
They're-
sense. There's something.
I want a session of all those type of topics.
you know
All
what
right, you
theory
come
I
up with
heard
the topics,
recently?
we'll do it.
They built the pyramids, they dug them out.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, basically no. Yeah, I've seen the
Like,
theory.
it
It's
does,
like
but
they're
doesn't.
pillars.
No.
No, like they started with a flat ground and they dug.
But then where's the rest of the
Oh.
earth, the ground?
That's what I'm saying. Like that one still doesn't make
No,
sense.
I've seen a theory that they're pillars. And the what's coming out of the ground is the tip of it.
So they're deep.
Yes.
Mm.
Because you know how we talk about like the earth used to be like we got more covered or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the earth used to be water and all that type of stuff and all that weird stuff. And they're basically saying like, because they're saying some mountains, that's the tip of the mountain, what we're seeing
Right.
comparative to like 100 million
I'm a
years
geography major, so I know
Really?
all about what you're talking about.
ago. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Your geography major. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
There's
Making
nothing
a
to
lot
do
of
with
money on
it.
the side.
There's nothing to do with it, but it's a easy one. Small workload.
If I could go back in time, I would have probably did that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. Sorry for lying to the pod.
Anyways,
All right.
maybe we'll do that.
Let's do it.
You can get
That's
you can
serious.
get the topics. They can look forward to that. We'll come in here and chop
Yeah.
it out. Dope. Appreciate
Yeah.
it, boys.
All right.